right by
thought you were rapping.
two-turn baby girl, you know.
So you're a singer.
Me.
Okay.
Who am I? That's it. You know this song. You know that. You know that.
Okay.
If you want to know who that
was straight off the dome, y'all.
Yeah.
Like,
You
come
wanna
on.
know-
Drake got it from him.
Ooh.
My bad.
All right, we are back with Open Invite, a show where community, culture, and entertainment intersects. I'm Anthony Jr.
And I'm Cyn.
And we have a special guest today, don't we?
We do. We're so excited. And we have a bio here that we're going to share because she deserves the right introduction. Okay, so joining us today is a content creator, a storyteller, and community builder with a deep love for food, culture, and connection. She creates engaging content that spotlights local businesses, uplifts people, and cultivates meaningful moments. Whether she's curating events, sharing her favorite eats, or just capturing her everyday joys, her work is a blend of authenticity and creativity, and is always grounded in her personal journey of community and inspiration. And so, welcome to the show, Teena.
Hey.
Hello. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. How are you?
I'm good. I feel like everything is lining up the way it's supposed to be, and I think being right here right now is just like the perfect moment of my life, so I'm really glad to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Yeah, how are you doing in general? How
I'm
are
doing
you?
well. I'm doing well. Today has been a full day. I feel like all of us were stuck in traffic because
Yeah.
there's so much going on. So it's been one of those busy mornings, but I'm doing well.
Yeah. For me, I'm just glad that I got a good night's rest. You know,
With
I
all
had-
those sons, all those children, right? You got a good sleep.
you know, they had a babysitter. You know,
Right.
They had a babysitter, so we was good.
Y'all are cutting up already.
Tucked away.
How many sons you got?
I got like, you know, this is the bad part. You
I'm so
can't-
glad you're
can't
there for
remember-
them, though.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're not absent.
Can't remember all their names.
Other names?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
Nick Cannon.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So we do have our off the menu to
We do.
start off. And this is a dilemma that I want to share. And maybe you can kind of help us answer this question or give your insight, all right? I want to start a YouTube channel, but my friends and family keep discouraging me. They say it's because the landscape is so saturated, but I feel like it's something else. I don't want to be like those American Idol contestants whose families know they couldn't sing but still push them on stage. Should I listen to them or should I just go for it?
Ooh. And for more context, Teena, so we get questions from folks who are tuning in and just wanting to get some information or insight from us to help guide their journeys and things of that nature, right? And so this person specifically is just wondering, should they start their YouTube channel or is it too saturated? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I think coming from an immigrant family of immigrant parents from a different country, they definitely was like, creative, anything? Absolutely not. You're not a doctor, you're not a pharmacist,
Yep.
you're not making money, absolutely not. And so I totally understand the perspective of just being like someone speaking down on you and giving you a perspective that they never even been a part of or experienced. And so I think it's like learning how to do anything. You don't know until you try, and you're not going to get better unless you practice. And so I think the best motivation is yourself. So if you want to be a YouTuber, why not try? I mean, it might suck the first video, but you're not going to get better unless you keep going. And there's going to be haters all the time. I feel like if people ain't talking, you're not doing nothing right. So I think go for it, try. And it is saturated, but everyone is so unique in their own story. And like, what makes you special? How are you going to stand out just by being yourself? And so, yeah, I think just go for it.
Okay.
And if it doesn't work out, at least you tried.
At least you tried,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Exactly.
And you know, I think for me, the part that stood out is I don't want to be like those American Idol contestants whose families knew they couldn't sing, but still let them get on the stage, right?
But they still got something out of it.
You know what?
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a perspective. I think for me, I think about the notion of honesty with our people,
Yes.
right? And thinking about how we can balance honest feedback and critique with just regular guidance of, you know, okay, maybe this is not something that you need to do, or if it's somebody's hating on you, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you figure out which of those it is, right? Because sometimes we do need people to tell us like, hey, I know that you want to be a rapper. You're 45 years old. You have bills to pay.
Yeah.
Maybe you should figure out something else to do. So where do you kind of draw that line between let me still pursue my passion versus let me be realistic?
But I think that's also God-given talent versus something you can learn, you know? So I
Come
feel
on.
like singing, some people just can't sing no matter if they went to school or went to practice, like you just are not a good singer. But being a good YouTuber, you can practice that with being energetic.
Come
You
on.
study some journalism, study some PR. You could have something where it's such a huge niche. You want to be a foodie, you want to be a storyteller, you want to talk about fashion. That is something you can learn. Being a singer, maybe your voice just ain't it, and God didn't give you that.
Listen, my voice is not it.
And you can keep going to class, and this is not going to work. So I
Yeah.
think that being honest is maybe just being like, hey, you're someone that's very introverted. YouTube is someone that's very energetic. Maybe you need to go learn how to speak in front of people. So I think some things are you can learn from and be better, and some things you're just like, you just really maybe just aren't that good of a singer, but you could be, maybe you can learn to be like, okay.
You know
Yeah.
what?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
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 You know, do you remember your first YouTube video?
it's funny, I archived all of them, but I still have them.
Yeah.
I used to sing on YouTube since I was 12 years old. I was on this
Really?
thing, I mean, we're probably all the same age, but this thing called MySpace.
Uh-huh.
I was
Yeah.
big on MySpace. I used to sing covers on YouTube, and there was an era where Asians were really doing their thing and doing covers, and so yeah, I remember singing all my little Justin Bieber covers and writing my own songs to like instrumentals.
Come on.
And it went super viral. And I remember being in school and like people were just making fun of me and things like that. But then I made this super viral song, like a version. I don't even want to. It's so embarrassing.
Go ahead.
You know that Twist the Wetter song?
Yeah.
I made my own version of it, but it's like I was so young talking about some sex. I didn't know anything about it, but it went so viral that people were downloading it and putting it on their MySpace, and people did covers of my cover. That video is still up. That's the only video I left up, but it had like a lot, like 500,000 views.
Wow.
And so that was kind of my first taste of YouTube. And so once I got kind of like virality, and I was like, oh, like people can connect on the internet and just
Yeah.
be creating different stuff and like meet people from all over the world. I was like, okay, like there's something here.
I love that.
That's fire.
I love that.
That's fire. MySpace was such a time. That was such a time. Everybody was learning how to code on there too.
Right.
I was customizing.
Who was on your
them
top
all.
8?
You know, I
Come on,
That was
let's
a-
fight
you
it
know,
out.
that
That's
was
a good
a-
question.
Wait, when someone
Uh-huh.
so if you guys didn't know, there was a top 8 of friends that you could put on like your page, and
Yeah.
sometimes people will be mad because you'll be moving number 1 to
Yeah.
8, and they'll be like, why did
Why
you
am I
move
not-
me? Or I'm not on your
Yeah.
top 8.
Yeah.
We should bring it back.
We should. We should figure something out like that. We should.
I love that.
Oh,
I
my
love that. So that means you've been in the social media landscape for a very long time.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it a thing that you feel like you've had to cultivate? Even going back to this question where you said this is a talent, right? You can study journalism, study how to have more energy, watch other people, and really cultivate that and build that skill set. Is it something that you already had innate in you, or is it something that you've had to build up over time?
Yeah, so coming from being like a first gen, like coming from immigrant parents, my mom is actually her birthday was yesterday. She's 75.
Wow.
My brother is 54. And so all my life, and my dad was 75 before he passed in 2020. But I always felt like an only child, even though I had a sibling. But he kind of raised me. He was like my father. And so I felt like an only child, but I think I didn't take that into being lonely. I took that in being like, oh, like I love talking to strangers and hearing their stories. And I used to be friends with all my teachers and talk to random people on the bus and things like that. So I think inside I was always like someone that's very curious about people's story. And so I only knew how to connect in person, but once being a millennial, the internet started, I didn't know that you could connect with people from all around the world. And so having a taste of that creativity to create content on a YouTube video or making a MySpace post or decorating your page and things like that, I think that's when I was like, okay, there's something here. But I always knew I wanted to be on TV, on camera. I used to like watch TRL as a kid, and I was like looking at the top music videos. Karaoke is my favorite sport, so I would just sing on the microphone all day. And so I think trying to do all that at once, but I just didn't know that you could do it as a career, because back then social media marketing wasn't like a thing. It was kind of like traditional marketing, knock on the door and things like that. And so I knew that something was there, but I didn't know that you can have a career out of it until I kind of went to college, which I did study journalism and PR.
Yeah.
But it really is within me of being like energetic. I love bringing people together.
Yeah.
And so when I was little, when I was in high school,
Yeah.
I threw an all-city dance with my friends
Ooh.
in high school. I've been doing this party thing for a long time. Like, we had an iPod, no DJ. iPod, I made everyone pay $20 at the skating rink. Dad remembers, he was there.
Oh.
And so it was 5 of our friends, and we made, there's no alcohol, we're just 16 up. We're like, all city dance. I went on YouTube, like, all city dance at the skating rink. Come up, pull up, $20.
Come on.
If you're late, $25.
Yeah.
People paid, people danced, and we just DJ'd off an iPod.
Wow.
So kind of like,
That's fire.
just being like, oh, like, social media can just bring a bunch of people together just by word of mouth or like
Yes.
technology. So
Yes.
yeah.
And do you think that, like, from there, what transpired you into, like, supporting and getting into the food and the small businesses and stuff? Because, obviously I feel like hearing that, I feel like, you first started with the covers and then doing covers, the singing,
Yeah.
doing the events, and then you started getting into the food and supporting the small businesses. And now you're kind of doing events, which we'll obviously talk about that a little bit later. But what would you say was that pivotal moment which made you transfer from doing events at that early age up into, like, doing the food and the small businesses and supporting those?
Yeah, I feel like I come from a very diverse community coming from Tacoma. So I grew up around a lot of different types of people. And so going to college and kind of getting that like higher education kind of made me learn about different communities and supporting. And I think back in the day, there was so much going on with social justice and I was a part of the Ethnic Student Center, so I worked there and I did social media for them. So I went to Western Washington University, very white. I lived in Bellingham for 4 years, and coming from Tacoma, I had a culture shock. And so I was a part of a community helping other students on campus find their community. So we had like Black Student Union, Latino Student Union, like the Asian communities. And so I knew that there's something important about finding the people that look like you, finding your community. So using social media on campus, doing that. But it wasn't until 2020, I think, was when I started doing like really taking serious my food content, was when my father passed away. So 2020 was a really hard time with COVID. And I think we were all having the reality of like staying home, and everyone was getting sick and things were sad, but we were forced to stay home. And I feel like, yes, it was a horrible time, but it also showed us that not all your life should be about work.
Exactly.
You can stay home and it could be an email.
Yeah.
By the way, it could be an email.
That's a fact.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was a hard time for everyone, but my father had caught meningitis B out of nowhere, and it happened so fast in a week. And I think during that time, it was so hard for folks to go to the hospital. Like, I wasn't allowed to go in there. Like, there were so many different rules. And it was a moment where I was like, all my life, my father worked. He was a fisherman in Alaska. And all my life, my parents just said, money equals happiness. And it's just because it's about survival. Like, coming from a different country, coming to the U.S., it's not about following your dreams. It's about surviving, making money, and taking care of your family. And so I accepted that. But I had no memory with my father. We never went on family vacations. We never did any of this stuff. They never pushed me to go after my dreams. They just said, get a good job, make money, and you'll be happy. And so when my father was getting really sick and I knew on the verge of passing away, I remember coming to the hospice and I looked at him and I was like, I love you so much and thank you for the life you provided me, but I do not want to live the life that you lived. Like, thank you for providing this life for me and giving me the opportunity that you never got in this country. But I want to have my dreams. I want to have a family where we don't just work all the time. We spend time together. We go on vacations. And so that's when I had a reality check, is when he passed. I was grieving and I was like, okay, like, I'm going to take this moment and grieve, but like, what am I going to do with it?
Yeah.
And so he was my inspiration, where I turned to food, because food brings people together. I was so happy. I was going to therapy at the time, but I didn't really feel like it was working for me. And I think therapy works for a lot of people, but it wasn't until I made my first food video. And so I've been doing social media for a long time for corporate companies and things like that. But after I stopped singing, I went to college thinking I needed to get a real job. So I kind of let go of my dreams. And so I was doing social media for all these corporate companies. And all of a sudden, when we were having to be stuck at home, I was like, okay, what am I going to do? I turned to food and I was like, this is going to make me happy. I'm sad today. And so there was this restaurant called Mangosteen. It was at the Red Boat in Chinatown. And I hit up the owner and I was like, hey, like, are you guys open today? I've never been here. I would love to come by. And he's like, hey, like, if you make a TikTok, I'll give you free boba. And I was like,
okay,
I want free boba.
Yeah.
I want to do this video. And so I just made my first voiceover and I was like, I don't want to just say like Seattle foodies because it's so broad. I'm like, hey, Washington foodies. And it was like all of Washington. But I wanted to tell about like what we ate. It was very broad. But I remember being on TikTok and I was like, I don't get it. Like Instagram, Facebook, it's like I understand, but TikTok at the time felt very cringy. Being funny, doing dancing. I was like, but I don't understand how people go viral. And so it wasn't until I made that video and then all of a sudden all these people started commenting like, oh my God, I'm gonna go to this restaurant, I'm gonna get the food that you got and things like that. The next day the owner called me and he's like, I was on the verge of my business like shutting down. And he was like, thank you so much, it's been so hard, and now everyone has been coming to my business and buying exactly what you got. And I think it wasn't when it went viral, but it was when he called me and I was like, is this my purpose in life? Like, is this what I am supposed to do? And so instead of doing social media for business, like doing social media for corporate, for others, I wanted to do something that helps people. So I wanted to do social media for good. And so that kind of spiraled into picking my favorite restaurants, the small black and brown immigrant small businesses that look like my parents or people who don't speak English. And so I was like, I just want to help. Like till this day, I never charge small business. I never charge them for these videos. I do it like, it's kind of like my little nonprofit. And then it kind of blew up one after the other. I still had my 9 to 5 at the time. And I was just like, this is something I wanted to do to help people. And I kind of saw the business getting saved. I saw the lines. I was like, it's all about community. This is what we can do to help each other. And so, I did like 30 free videos until I was like, how do people get paid?
Right.
And then, I just realized that sometimes you just got to put in the effort, put in the work, and then all that money will come. And so, sorry for the rant.
No,
that's like the story of it all.
No apologies needed. And what I love about what you're sharing is I see a lot of, and this is one of the things that I even messaged you when we were prepping for our time together today was, even just God's guidance through it all, right? Like what I see is intentional positioning for you to be able to step into a deeper aspect of your calling, right? Like it took, yes, you started with MySpace, with the singing. And so you already had a understanding of how to build a platform and how to build influence through that platform. Life happens, you go to college, etc. Then with your father passing away, something ignited in you in that moment, right? And then thinking about the trajectory of where you are even today, and I think even where you're going, I love that because I see intentionality through it all, even with the little things that we don't think about, right? Like that, oh, hey, you get a free boba if you make this video. Okay, bet. Little things like that that inspire you to cultivate your vision or even hone it into your vision a little bit deeper, I think is so beautiful.
Yeah, it's like being intentional about everything and being authentic because people can see right through that.
Exactly.
And I never want to do something. I always tell people like not all money is good money.
Come on.
And reputation and learning about people's branding and things like that. It's very like you have to understand that things like that follow you.
Yes.
So making a decision has to be like researched, and so everything's very intentional with the things that I do.
I love that. I love that.
And one of the things that I also want to note too is like whenever you start a new endeavor, we always get surprised based off of the people that may not be supporting or supporting that endeavor. Did you experience anything that was maybe surprising for you once you started the food journey, as far as like close friends and family? Like, were people supportive of it at first or weren't?
I think all my close friends that kind of grew up with me was like, this is what you've been meant to do. Like the people who've known me since I was little, they're like, you've always done the same thing, and now it's like in different avenues and perspectives, it's kind of grown into something bigger. But I did, have people being like, is she really like that in person? Like, is she really that nice, or does she just do this for clout? And so I really don't care, because at the end of the day, like, when I see me helping change people's lives, like nothing else matters. Like these people are struggling in their businesses. Like I helped a family that literally had to fire all their employees because they couldn't pay them. So they had their kids working for free after school and things like that. And then all of a sudden we make a video and all of a sudden they're able to hire 2 more people. And that's really the best thing that keeps me motivated. I don't hear anyone else. I don't care.
Good.
That's fire.
I like that.
That's
I like
fire.
that. Yeah.
Sometimes I've even seen you, clap back.
Professionally, I've learned
Professionally. Okay,
yeah.
Give us an example. How do you clap back professionally?
Yeah, so I worked at a corporate company where I was doing social media for a very, very big brand, and so I was the community manager. So I would clap back when people would be like, "My milk is messed up," and I was just like, "Well, here are 5 other milks. Do you want one of these?" So I think clapping back professionally is being able to have facts.
Yes.
Like I'm never gonna put you down, but I'm gonna tell you the facts.
You know.
So if you have a question and you're saying so and so through judgment, I'm gonna be like, actually, well, this is literally what happened, or this is actually the real product. So or come back come back. But I think people mix up with opinion versus like factuals too. When I'm like, just because I like the food and I'm saying that this is good, not saying you are gonna like it.
Right.
We all have different palates, and I think people are just like, oh yeah, like she thinks this place is so good. I'm like, yeah, me.
I do.
Yeah.
I didn't say you were gonna like it, so it's just kind of funny. I kind of make jokes.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty funny.
Yeah. I think all of us are pretty funny.
yeah.
We all kind of funny.
Yeah, we're funny.
You know?
We're
I
funny
just a little bit.
I'm like, you call me, I'm calling you back. So.
Oh my gosh. Yo.
Do you ever find yourself in situations where people are entitled to your support? And by that, what I mean is, especially because who you are by nature, you just shared, is you're intentional about making sure that the community is well, right? So it's not necessarily about you making the money. Now, the money is great, right? But really, it's about the impact within the community. There are times where I see people operating in a space like you operate in, where other folks start to expect them to then show up for them, right? I expect you to come to my establishment and give a good review. I expect you to do this, this, and that, right? Do you ever run into situations where folks are entitled?
Yeah, 100%. I think that people just think you have all the time in the world, or they know you through someone, or someone says your name, and all of a sudden they think they have a special connection with you. But I can say relationship is the most important thing to me. Like, for instance, like, I'm all about, like, if my really good friend is like, my uncle is really struggling, I'm open to it. But if it's someone through someone who I have no clue, I'm not gonna do it. And I wanna do my own research. So a lot of the times I either do my own research by looking online, reviews, and doing all that stuff, or it's through a connection through someone that I'm really close to, because it's all about trust. And there are people who are just like, oh, I'm big time, I have this big restaurant, and I'm da-da-da, and I'm like,
Okay.
I really go find someone else.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's always about communication. Like, how do they kind of bring up the conversation? I'm open to new conversations and meet new people, but it has to be respectful. It has to be like, oh, like, you're wanting to get to know me, let's get to know each other, and then kind of move forward with that, instead of being like, hey, like, you do content, like, come through, like, yeah. So it's all about the communication part for me.
Yeah, and also on top of that, I like what you said there. But you know, sometimes all reviews aren't good reviews. So what do you do in instances where somebody does actually invite you to come to their event?
Yeah.
They're very polite, but then you try
And
their
food is
it's
bad.
not.
Yeah.
The food is not the best.
I always try to be honest. So for me, I'm never going to sit there and like really talk down on you to ruin your establishment. Not my thing. I either, if I don't like the food, it's not, that dish is not in the video. Like, I'm not gonna put that. Or I say it in a way that's really respectful, like, this might taste good to others, but right now I feel like this is not really fitting my palate, or I feel like it needs a little bit more salt. But it's like critiques where to help someone do better. Not dissing, like, this place is so trash, like, this plating is ugly. Like, I would never do that. I'd just be like, oh, like, I think maybe if it added a little bit more zest, or, you know, they had a little side, you know, like, things that will help people do better. And I think some people want that, you know? But I also am not going to include something if I don't like it in the video. I'm just not that type of person, because I've seen people do a bad review and then all of a sudden they get hate comments, like, people don't go, and you're ruining someone's livelihood, and I don't ever want to do that.
Exactly. No, I love that. So as you are in a season where, you know, we see you more, not that you haven't been creating content a lot, but you have been a little bit more deeper in what you've been doing, right? More consistency, more content, various platforms, all that wonderful stuff. What is your driving force in this season? Is it because of shifting dynamics, or is it just because you have a different vision for where you're going?
Yeah, so I have always had a 9-to-5 and trying to do both for a long time, with having a corporate job while doing social media. So I always thought in my head that being comfortable, having a paycheck that's very consistent will help me one day quit and grow into my content creation. And so I worked for a huge global brand for 8 years, gave all my life, but I was always tired. So I would hustle from 9 to 5, and then I would edit videos from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m., go back to the office. And I always told myself, like, one day, like, when am I gonna take a chance on myself? But I think in reality, you know, we need healthcare, we need stocks, we need whatever. And I was just so scared. I didn't know if I could actually do it. And so after 8 years, recently in February, there is, I think, a lot of people in Seattle know the economy has been really bad, and a lot of corporate companies are going through layoffs. But I told myself, I remember when it was like, we knew the week that it was happening, and it was like, they're like, we're gonna lay off 1,100 people, and I was like, dang, like this is crazy, but also I'm not scared. I am not scared, you know? And I remember the night before I had sat in bed and I just prayed to myself. I said, God, like, if you think I'm ready, let me go.
Come on.
If you think I'm ready to take a chance on myself, let me go.
Come on.
And so I woke up at 6:45 and I got the HR email and I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is it. I let myself cry because it's a part of you. I felt like it was part of my personality. It was routine, but I cried and then I was just like, let's go. Go time. And so I think I also was set up great because if I had quit, I wouldn't have gotten a severance or anything like that. And so being able to get laid off, I was kind of, God was saying, I was always worried about money because nobody wants to be broke. Like being a content creator, like sometimes money doesn't come in, it's not very consistent. I was always scared about money. And so I think God sent me and was like, all right, you have no more excuses.
Come on.
You got a severance.
Yes.
I'm taking care of you. Now go. Like, no more excuses. And so I just was like, I have to make every second count.
Wow.
And so now I just got to hustle every day for the bag. But it makes me work harder.
Yeah.
Makes me work harder. And I wake up every day like, what am I going to do today? Do I want to do a podcast? Do I want to plan an event? Do I want to make content? Like, the sky's the limit. Like, I feel like people get stuck in the niche. For me, for a little bit, I was like, okay, food is my thing. But I think that's why I don't say, hey, Washington Foodies anymore, because it kept me in a box of being in Washington. So my branding is Teena. I am the brand. If I want to do something, I'm going to put my mind into it. And so right now, like I was telling Aunt, I was like, every day feels like Saturday. I wake up like, sometimes with no alarm, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, is this what it feels like to not panic and be like, I got to go to the office? But I wake up feeling like I have a purpose, like God gave me this gift, and I'm able to just do whatever puts my mind into it. Like, I gotta be a star. I gotta make it work. I gotta make it work. I gotta make it work. So, yeah.
And I think it's really important, excuse me, it's really important to have that routine, especially when you get laid off, because it's easy to get slumped. It's easy for you to feel as though because you have this available time from not being in the corporate office, you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But really, you have to be intentional with every moment, because now you don't have that consistent check coming in. You don't have that, stock or the healthcare and everything coming in, so you have to really be, because even for me personally, it's like, when I lost my gig as well, I looked at it where it's like, now I need to prioritize health and wellness. I need to prioritize these things. I can't be outside all the time.
Unless I'm getting paid.
Unless I'm getting paid, Exactly. But it's like now it's like we don't have the luxury of being able to have that corporate company taking care of our slack, when we don't follow up with our other stuff going on. So I think it's really important to just have that routine.
And they can just cut you off and they'll be like, oh, you're done.
And you're done.
You're done,
Yeah.
So does that mean that we are in an age where entrepreneurship is the thing? Ownership, entrepreneurship, starting businesses? Because so many of us in this room, have experienced a layoff or something of that nature, even over the last 2-3 years, right? And a lot of people are starting businesses. A lot of people are starting new endeavors. A lot of people are doing a lot of different things. Is that just the new wave, or is it just another thing that's happening in our society?
I think it's that, but also telling you, hey, take a break.
Oh, that's good.
You've been working so hard. Like, when's the last time you just slept in?
Yeah.
When's the last time you just took a walk and spent time with your family and friends? I think the hustle culture out here is all about, like, you got to keep going, got to make money, and sometimes you just need a break.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's the best thing for you to kind of reset and think about, do you want to start a business? Not everybody wants to be an entrepreneur.
No.
Some people just want to be a housewife.
Yeah.
Find your mans, get married, and take care of the kids.
Yeah.
And that's okay, I think. But I do see people being like, I'm just going to do 5 different things. And it's dope to see. And maybe taking a moment to kind of realize that you can connect with other people, learn from others, and maybe you do want to open a business, but maybe you just want to learn. Maybe you are sick of being a salesperson, but you want to go learn how to be an artist or how to be a designer. Like, now is the time to take a chance on yourself to learn something new or just do whatever you've always been wanting to do.
Yeah, I love that. I was watching something earlier this week, maybe it was yesterday, I can't remember exactly when, but this person was talking about the difference between courage and bravery, right? And I know that some people, or better yet, I think it was being fearless or being brave, right? I think that those are 2 different things. And I think that in this season, a lot of us, especially if we hit that hurdle of we have the abrupt shift in either our finances or just life as we know it, we don't know what that next step looks like, right? And so then we're hustling, trying to figure out, how do I fill in this specific gap, because I don't know what else that I can do. And this individual was talking about, for many of us, we feel like we have to not feel the fear or not feel all the feels of the anxiety and everything else that's happening, but it's okay to feel those things in the season when you're experiencing that slump or experiencing that shift, but move anyway, right? Because some people by nature are wired fearlessly. I know, like my big sister, if she could jump off a plane, she would. Like just one of those people that is just fearless in every way, where more so, I feel all the fear, I feel all the feels, I feel all the emotions, but I force myself to move anyway, and that is what bravery looks like, right? And so I think that in this season, a thing that folks need to remember is to be brave.
Yes.
Even if you're feeling the anxiety, even if you're feeling the fear, take that step anyway, because otherwise now you're stuck. Because I know some people right now who are stuck because they don't know what to do, because it's heavy to carry.
Yeah, I totally agree. And after you explained that, I was like, do I want to hop out of a plane? I don't. But I'm brave enough to, I do feel like scared when I was like, what if it doesn't work? Like,
Right.
when am I going to get this next paycheck?
Right.
Net 30 is taking forever. I don't know when I'm getting paid.
Listen.
Yeah.
But I tell myself, like, instead of feeling down about it, like, what am I going to do to make myself feel better?
Yes.
So do I need to make a new video? Do I need to hustle harder and do something else? I think, but fearless, I think that's like also pushing the bravery to become fearless. So
Yes.
it kind of correlates together, and that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you ever think about, do you ever just think about times where like maybe you're not having the best of days, where maybe a gig didn't come through, or like, you know, I know you recently just signed to an agency, so congrats to that.
Thank you.
You know,
Congratulations.
we'll get into that. But do you ever have these moments where obviously we're pushing hard, we're going through the shifts in our life and stuff, and maybe it's just not your day? How do you really cope with those type of moments?
I think sometimes I let myself feel sad because I'm a very empathetic person. I let myself feel. But that's the beauty of being human. Like, you're not always going to be happy. Sometimes you're going to be bored. Sometimes you're not going to know. But I let myself feel that way. And then I'm like, but what am I going to do to feel better?
Yeah.
And so, like you, like, I have been focused on my health and working out and spending time with people that make me feel good, in my community, my husband. And sometimes you need that moment to be creative again, because
Yeah.
if you're working all the time, you're overworking your brain, you're not going to create anything new because you're just doing the same things. And so sometimes I just lock my phone in my room because I need to take a break. I'm always on. I feel like I'm always on, and I just need to take a break and take a walk.
Yes.
And then strategize on how I can do better for the next day.
Yeah.
We just need a break sometimes.
Yeah,
too.
absolutely. And I think, like, even to piggyback off your point too, is like, for me personally, in this season, I've kind of numbed myself to kind of not have to feel any of the fear, but there are moments where I actually have to sit down and be like, wow, this is really real.
real.
Like,
It's
going
real.
back to your point of like, every day really does feel like a Saturday.
Yeah.
And you have to know when, okay, if it's a Monday, hustle, do what you need to do. Of course, take the time out for yourself, but man, it's really tough because
But you would never change it.
Yeah,
And
we
this
never
is like,
change it.
This is, I'd rather be struggling
Yeah.
sad about this than be
Yes.
in the office trying to figure out my next meeting and
Yeah.
work with a VP and things like that. So I feel that totally.
Yeah, and I would there's even times too, just a quick note, but like there'd be times I'd find myself like being at work trying to work on other stuff.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
And it was really like mind-boggling to me because it was like, man, I have to leave the office to go talk on the phone to do something. I'm trying to work on something on my phone just to post on social media. And, you know, I'm very fortunate to be able to say that I own my time right now. You know, so just shout out to us for all being able to, you know, make do with what we do have, you know?
Ooh, child.
Yeah.
Owning time and trying to organize
Yeah.
time.
That's
Yeah.
the thing, organizing the time. See, y'all, one of the things that I've mentioned this before on the show, but it's a recurring theme because I keep seeing it show up, and it's showing up more in my life now, especially because I have more things that I have to manage, right? So really being intentional about even being punctual, right? Like that has been a deep thing, especially now where it feels different now because once upon a time, okay, I'm late to this meeting. Okay, cool. But now it's like, this belongs to me.
Yeah.
So if I'm running late, that is not only me, but the team. It's everyone else who's involved, right? So it feels different to own the time, but also be accountable to myself to make sure that I can show up well because it funnels through and sifts down to everyone else.
But I also feel like I'm learning about myself because it is like a new adventure. And so I thought to my head, like, when I started this journey of being full time, I was like, I'm gonna work out in the morning and then go into work. I tried it. That does not work for me. I need to wake up and have a matcha or a coffee and then dive into work. I work better in the morning. I work out in the evening. It just works better for me because I like to just chill after I work out and be tired. But when I was working out in the morning, I was on the computer like, damn, I'm so tired. So it's just kind of understanding your routine. And like, I noticed too, like, I love my Mondays to myself. But like when people are trying to meet on Mondays and I have to go somewhere, it just ruins my day.
Yeah.
Like it kind of, not ruins my day, but ruins the vibe of like, I can't just dive into content creation because I'm yapping and driving to Seattle and things like that. So kind of organizing, being like, okay, Mondays are for myself on the computer in my office, and maybe I'll do like a Tuesday or Wednesday if an in-person meeting. So kind of just understanding, you know, what is your new routine?
Yes. And in building that routine, how are you continuing to build you're building community on a broader sense, but with your internal, more immediate community? What does that look like for you, like your support system, and how has that been in this season?
Yeah, I think it's been really awesome because my husband is a full-time artist, and so he's been doing it for like 8-9 years, and I've always been someone that, you know, supports him in his world of taking it full time. And so when it was my turn, he was like, it's your turn. Like,
welcome to the club.
It's your turn, welcome. So him and I are always like, oh my God, we're the best coworkers ever. So, but being able to be our own person. So I have my own brand, he has his, but then now we have a clothing brand together where now I have all the time in the world to help him. And now that I dive into our clothing brand, Sweet Life, I'm like, you did this by yourself. Like you needed my help. Yeah. And so now I have the brains of strategizing because I did social media strategy for so long. Like I could help you with this and logistics while you just have time to create, because he was this one-man show. And so being able to help each other, he's the one who records my videos. Like he's the one recording, waiting until the food's done, the food's cold, I'll let you eat after I've done recording kind of person. So and then being able to surround myself with other creatives, I think learning is the most important thing. You never stop learning. You shouldn't stop learning. And I'm always around people that are my mentors. People, you have to be, I think the best way for success is being around people who are smarter than you. Yes. Because then you can learn. You're always learning from each other. And maybe the person that's smarter than you is learning something from you, because there's always room for improvement. And being surrounded by, you know, like people in different communities, people who are having different clothing brands, or just learning from different restaurant owners, I feel like that has kept me going and motivating me, because I just always want to try something new, and I think we're always helping each other. That's how you kind of build community. It's not about competition. It's not about jealousy. It's about like, I see you, you see me. Like maybe we won't overlap, but maybe we are. But we're always good. Like I support you even from a distance.
Yes, absolutely. I want to tap into like now this new defined hosting and being at the events and all that, because crazy. Now it's like you're going from being in front of the camera and doing what you do for the small businesses, but now you're really touching ground. You're really seeing the people. You're really out there hosting. You're on the microphone.
On the mic.
Like,
come on.
That
like
is
little
pivot,
Teena,
you know?
from karaoke. Like I have a picture of me on the mic when I was little, like just drooling all over the microphone. And I think I just feel very comfortable on stage, but it just kind of fell into my hands. But I've always sang on stage and performed, so I always felt comfortable. But this whole, and then throwing parties, it all kind of aligned in one thing. And so hosting events like parties, you know, I told myself, I was like, I don't want to be a party girl, but why does it have to look bad? I had to step back and be like, I provide people a space to join together in community. I also provide, as a woman, I don't really see women in these spaces of being on the mic and being like confident in these a lot of men are in these spaces,
Yeah.
you know, in the club, as a DJ. But as a woman, I felt very like, you see me, so you feel comfortable. Like Girls Night Out, shout out to AJ and Daphne, that's their event. They asked me to join because they wanted me to be the face because I could bring people together. And so it became a place for women to feel comfortable, you know, like I made a TikTok inviting everyone to Girls Night Out, and the comments are literally like, hey, I'm going alone, like does anyone want to go with me? And they're like, yeah, like let's meet up. And women are meeting each other to go to this because they're trying to find other women to feel safe to go dance and party with. And so yeah, it just kind of been like a space for me to hype the crowd up. I love making people sing. I love making people happy. And just having a bunch of friends that do events and DJ, it's really been dope to do it.
I love
I
that.
just emceed for my friend's wedding.
Yeah.
So, you know, look, I can do anything. I can do anything.
That's
Where do
what's
they
up.
book you?
Don't call me.
Actually, no.
Hit up my team.
I love that.
Oh my god, no, that's fire. That's super fire. I think it's really just important because like this is what it's all about. We're not boxed in anymore. I think we're out of that era where people felt like you had to just focus on one thing and that one thing is going to be the make or break and that's it. I think right now it's totally okay to try 5 or 6 different
Why
things.
limit yourself?
And see what
Exactly.
happens.
And see what happens. So I'm just happy to hear that you're really diving into everything that you like and you're just reinventing yourself. You know?
I got motion right now, but
Yeah.
one day I won't. So I
Yeah.
just gotta ride the wave because one day I'm not gonna have motion. So I'm just like, whatever, I just gotta keep going.
So then with that motion, you mentioned the clothing brand. Anthony alluded to an agency.
Yes.
And so tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I just got signed last week to Wasserman, which is such an incredible big agency that really has a lot of sports and influencers and celebrities, and I've been on their radar for a long time. And so I had a friend in LA that's always been connected to me, and she was like, when the right time comes, like I really want to meet with you.
Yes.
And it just came in the past couple weeks, and she sent my profile, my content to their team, and they're just like, we love her. And I think for content creators, we always think we need to be some big influencer, but a lot of these companies and brands want to work with micro influencers that can connect to the smaller community and is more like authentic to, you know, the city. And so I met with them. I had a good conversation, and the manager and the team, like, I was like, this is it. And I've been always someone that handled everything myself, you know. This is a good tip. This is what I learned.
Yeah.
For a long time, I had a fake manager email. Her name is Stacy, but it was me. So every time I'd be like, oh, it's Teena. I'm like, I'm going to CC my manager. I'd be like, hi, this is Stacy. Like, Teena deserves this much. And I would CC myself. And so I negotiate myself, and I was my own manager. But now I got a whole team that could do it. But it's a good thing to kind of learn how to negotiate and fight for yourself because they will speak to you differently sometimes.
Yes.
But I still record my content. I edit my own videos. I build my own relationships with people. Simon does help me record, but all the editing you see, most of the time, it's me. I storyboard. I write scripts. There's so much that goes along with it before you see the final cut. But now I'm signed to the agency where they are going to pitch me to bigger brands. And I always dreamed of being, you know, international or traveling or, you know, meeting other people, not just around, you know, the area, but having someone stand up for me, negotiate for me, and wanting to see me conquer my dreams. I'm really excited for that.
That's really exciting. And what I love about that is, you know, you just mentioned you storyboard, you write scripts, you edit, you do all these things. People are seeing a 1 or 2 minute clip and they think that that takes 2 seconds to put together. But there is an entire production that actually goes to you being able to put out that product, right? And even in that, you know, what can you tell people who are wanting to start more, not start a social media because everybody's on social media at this point, but be more intentional about being a content creator? What do they need to do to actually build the influencer, build the community around them?
Yeah, and I would say, like, not everyone needs to write a script and do a planning. Sometimes, like, recording and posting works better. And I'm just like, sometimes I'll just go to a restaurant and post. And it's interesting because sometimes TikTok wants that. Like something that's very just on the fly.
Yes.
But then Instagram wants something beautiful and scripted.
Yeah.
But I think the best thing to kind of start with is, what do you want your audience to learn from? I have learned in social media the best way for people to stay is if they're getting something out of it.
That's good.
So instance, you have fashion tips. They're going to stay because, oh, you gave me 5 tips on how to do a tie or whatever. And for me, I am giving you a place to eat at. You're learning about food, you're learning about the owners, and so they stay because not only for the story, is because I'm providing some information for them. And so what is the audience? What kind of niche do you want to start with? Is it something you're interested in? And then always being authentic to yourself. Are you the same person you are online? Because I think people tend to build this personality that is not who they are in person, and I want them to because you get a sense of like it's not reality. And so you never want someone to meet you and be like, oh my gosh, you are just not who I thought. You want someone to meet you and be like, you are better in person. And I love your content and I want to share it to all my friends. But just start, I think people get scared of just creating the content and just starting and putting yourself out there. I had a conversation with my best friend. She travels a lot, but she's like, I like to take pictures, but I'm scared to put myself out there. But I told her, you could be providing information on women that travel alone. She wants to start an ebook. I said, you can't start an ebook if you don't have an online presence, online community. They won't. Nobody will buy that. It's not traditional anymore. And she was like, you're right. And so just starting, and like I said, you can't play basketball unless you practice. So
I love it.
You got to just keep practicing.
I love it. That's a good word. It's good, especially even for me and Anthony, as we are building Open Invite, and then with IMG, we're building other things. One of my fears was just starting, putting myself out there, because my personality is more reclusive. I want to be in the cut somewhere, be low key, but it's important to start and actually have something that you can show for what you're wanting to do. That's really important. But even in that, I think that sometimes people get caught up with the numbers, right? So it's like they're looking at, let's say, you're looking at your platform, you have viral videos, you have all these numbers, you've built this beautiful audience that you're still, building more of, and they say, well, I only have 100 followers. Should I even put anything out there because no one is going to see it? It's like, what does it look like for them to be encouraged even with the small visibility that they do get?
I have to say, like, I started with no followers. Like, we all built from somewhere. But the best way to keep it in reality is, if you have 100 people in a room, or even 50 people who are just like, you're doing great, that is so much. There's so many people.
Yes.
And so even if 100 people see your stuff, or 5 people, there's still people who are enjoying your content in a room that's supportive. And I'd rather have those 5 people who love my content than 6,000 people who don't really care and they just give a like, who didn't even watch my content. And so kind of remember the reality that we all start from somewhere, and community is not built overnight. It's about, one, yes, I'm so glad people support my content, but I also supported there. So communities support communities. People support you when you support them back, and I feel like that's also something that people need to learn. Success doesn't happen overnight. People don't watch your videos and comment just because, they just saw it. Yeah, maybe they do, but people stay because they love your personality. They've seen you. You've been there. You've tried. I always make sure that I'm sharing and commenting on all my other content creator friends or friends in the community, because I see you and you see me, and we are always going to be supporting each other. And that's how you build community for longevity.
Yes.
One of the things too, just to even add on to that, is like, sometimes people could get caught up in the numbers and seeing that oftentimes they're disingenuous and end up doing the fake followers, and, everything to just spike up their social presence and stuff. But it's always great to see where, when it comes down to people that do that, you obviously see those same people can't fill a room.
No.
Because of them being that type of person,
Inauthentic.
Inauthentic, exactly. So when you're really building from the ground up, those people that support, those 100 people that support, those are the same people that if you did a party,
they're gonna
pull up.
Yep.
Just off the strength. So it's always something to keep in mind, because I've seen that in so many different shapes and forms where people cheat their way up, and then when it comes down to doing maybe a live recording or an event, nobody's there.
Yep.
So, just
I think it's
something to
wild
keep
too,
in
because
mind.
it's like you got 1 million followers and all your comments are just like these spam comments with 5
Yeah,
emojis, and I'm just like, there's no way.
We can tell.
There's no
we
way.
can tell.
But clout is one hell of a drug. Like,
is.
it's just, some people just want the fame and fortune, but if there's no people or community, it's really nothing. It's not worth it. You'll be lonely in the long run. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, tell us a little bit about what you have going on or coming up here. Is there anything fun that we need to be on the lookout for?
We have Girls Night Out August 30th at Vice. It's so funny. They'd be like, I should clock in at Vice. I should be getting a payroll. I like Princess of
That's a
Vice.
fact.
But shout out to AJ and Daph, who started Girls Night Out. I'll be hosting that. We have always girl DJs. Women are all free. We make the men pay, and they will definitely pull up because the women are there.
Okay.
So that's August 30th. We have our second heat wave, which is a bunch of my friends that are DJs. We host this summer day party called Heat Wave at LTD Bar and Grill. That's September 6th. And it's just a vibe. We always say it's like a backyard party. And we have that then. And then I'm actually planning something new. I don't know if you've been seeing like those YouTube like DJ events at a coffee shop. I want to kind of experience what it's like to have a morning audience. No alcohol, just coffee, bagels, and a DJ set come to vibe. And so it's going to be called Sweet Life Radio.
I love that.
And we're going to have a bunch of DJs, and it's going to be at Toasted, which is an amazing bagel shop with coffee in Seattle. And I think it's going to be 10:30 to 2 or 11 to 2. I'm trying to do the logistics, but we'll have a pop-up of our clothing brand.
Nice.
The DJs will be DJing with the clothing brand, and we'll record on YouTube, and it's a set that you can play on YouTube and listen, or come in, dance, vibe, eat some bagels, or drink some coffee, and just spend time in the morning. Then you have the rest of the day to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So kind of just like transitioning to that kind of event, and making more content. I'm trying to do YouTube.
Yes.
Trying to do YouTube. It's so hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what is your YouTube channel?
Just my name, Teena Thach. Teena Meets World, because I'm on a journey of not just staying in one place. So.
Come on.
That's
We
fire.
love it.
Yeah.
We love it. Well, we have a closing segment here called Split Decision. And this is in essence a this or that, right? So I'm going to give you two options. I'm going to give y'all two options. And
Okay.
you let me know what you would choose.
Just
Y'all
one,
ready?
Just like one word.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All
Or a
right.
saying, not necessarily one word.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So one response.
Yeah,
Yeah.
either word.
Of the two options.
Yeah.
Got it.
So the first one here is specifically for you, but also for you, Anthony.
Okay.
Give up your. Just all right. Give up your favorite food forever, or eat it every day for every single meal for a year.
Dang, that's hard. I'd give it up because I need a new
You need
dish
variety?
all the time.
Yeah, same.
I can find a new
probably give it up. Yeah. I give it up, yeah.
Give it up.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all just give it
I
up.
can pick my second favorite.
Yeah.
I'll eat my second favorite.
What's your favorite
Yeah.
meal?
I love pho. That's so
Ooh.
basic, but I just love like soup and noodles. I just love. I can eat a bowl of pho like all the time, but not every day. But
But yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Good choices. The second split decision is spend a month alone in the wilderness. No phone or internet. But on the flip side of that, after that year, you get after that month, I'm sorry, I'm like a year is
I was
long.
like, dang, girl.
After that month, you get $1 million, okay? So wilderness for a month, no phone or internet, but you get $1 million on the flip side of that. Or you live stream your life 24/7 for a month, and you get that $1 million.
Live
Usually live
stream.
stream.
Live stream,
I don't think I can
baby.
survive.
Oh
You
my.
gonna have a missing daughter. Like Tina's gone missing
yeah.
in the wilderness.
I am becoming a streamer.
Do you know, I
Yeah.
could be like Kai Cenat.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be
Yeah.
maybe the push I need to go on Twitch.
Yeah, absolutely. I am becoming a streamer. Get in the
24/7,
bag, yes.
everything you're doing all day.
You're
Yeah.
telling me to go in the woods. You're just telling me to go die.
Well, no,
Yeah.
listen. It would be like a little cute cabin. It would be a cute cabin. It's warm. It's cozy.
How are you gonna reach me?
We can't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm a woman.
Yeah.
This is gonna be bad. Sounds like it's gonna be on the news.
Lions, tigers, and bears.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I would be in the woods.
You gonna make
What?
a fire?
I could figure it out.
Oh,
She gonna put some
man.
berries.
Oh,
I will
my
figure it
God.
No
out.
shower
Okay, but there's water.
in the river?
Yes.
No way.
No,
No way. And you'll be ashy. There's no
I'm
lotion.
like, yeah.
I'm cracking up.
Oh, man, no, I can't do the forest. I can't do the
do it?
woodlands. No, I cannot.
I can't even really camp. I'd be glamping.
Yeah.
Get me camping, Airbnb. I'll be there. I'll go outside. I'm going back in the room.
Oh, my
Well,
God.
because I just think about the 24/7 feels crazy. Like everything that I'm doing, people watching and commenting.
Yeah.
Ooh,
No,
that feels like a
gotta
lot.
But
do
look
that.
at what has taken all these Twitch streamers. They've
You're
gone
right.
making more than us.
Yeah.
You
And
know
they're
what?
like 15 years old.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay.
So,
I'll be
Yeah.
on Twitch.
You
I'll be
know?
on Twitch.
Yeah.
So we might secure the bag with a contract signed with Twitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we still get that $1 million after.
And the brand deals.
Ooh, and the brand deals.
Y'all,
Exactly.
okay, you know what? Y'all got
Yeah,
some. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
Think about the future.
God, I see what you do for others.
Do it for me, Lord.
Do it for me.
That's funny.
Okay, so we have a thing where Anthony,
Oh man.
Are you gonna freestyle?
he's stressing me out.
I heard you can crumb.
You can crab.
Oh. Hey,
That's
wait.
it. That's it.
My bad. This is his show. Oops.
I feel like you can too.
I can crumb. I can sing you a scrum song.
Ooh, actually, how about we do this?
No, please don't make me sing.
No, I'm not gonna make you sing. No.
Uh-huh.
But can you do like a beat for Anthony?
No.
No?
I could, but I don't want to.
You don't want to?
I'm
Okay,
shy.
dang.
Okay,
That's
you're
it,
okay.
That's it.
okay.
All right.
Clips.
All right, y'all. So,
You need a pencil.
Yeah,
You
we do need a pencil. Yeah, we do need a pencil.
okay, so Anthony always freestyles us out of the episode.
Oh, for real? I was joking.
No, it's a
No,
real
I do
thing.
it, yeah.
Oh.
It's a real thing. He actually does.
Or
And
a song.
I never know what he's gonna do.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes he'll pick a song that we know.
Yeah, you're so multi-talented.
He is.
I'm trying to be like you. I'm trying to be like you. Oh my gosh.
On the stage.
All the layers. Come on.
You can freestyle too, right?
I can rap a little bit.
You're probably better than him.
Okay, yeah, she probably is. So we might have do an episode where you,
I got a little
you
flow,
did it. You
but
know,
you know,
oh
in
my
time.
God.
In time.
Open invite to karaoke.
Yeah.
And so, are you ready? Do you know what you're gonna do
Yes,
for
I
us?
do. No. Yeah, actually get some water real quick, just because I've been coughing
I'm sorry.
all the time.
My bad.
Mm,
Ooh, it's gonna change my life. I'm ready.
okay. This camera, right?
This is your camera. Yep.
I'm outside in that AMG, right outside, TT,
Wait.
two-turn, baby, you know me.
I heard this
You
song
know
before.
this song?
You know it.
All my people around me, ride or they die. Gotta watch the time, cause it's flying right by.
Thought you were rapping.
Two-turn, baby girl, you know
So you're a singer.
me.
Okay.
Who am I? That's it. You know this song. You know that. You know that. If you want to know who that
That was straight off the dome, y'all.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
You
come
wanna
on.
know-
Drake got it from him.
Ooh.
My bad. Sorry.
That's a fact.
You know what?
That's a fact.
You know what?
Man, yo, Drake, if you come on, man.
He's going on tour soon.
Come on, he's going on tour.
You gotta go on tour with him.
Come on, that's a fact. I need a bag, please. Just bless my pockets, man. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a struggling
You
entrepreneur.
guys, I'm sure Anthony's about to throw it. Drake after party. Trust.
No, we actually did. We
Exactly.
actually
I know.
did.
There
We
you
did
go.
do it, actually.
I know.
It was OVO Chubbs though, but Drake was supposed
You
to
know,
actually
same
show
thing.
up, you know.
Yeah,
But it
that's
was
what
lit.
they all say.
Yeah. You got me. You got me.
All right. Well, and on that note,
That was the best part of the podcast. Thank you so much. I hear it in my head. Thank you so much.
we appreciate you.
Oh
Bill.
my gosh. All
Thank
right.
you, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
This
Thank you
for
was
having
good.
me.
It was, and with that being said, open invite. We are out of here. Thank y'all so much. We'll catch y'all next
See
time.
y'all soon.
Peace.
Bye.